And then last, we'll talk about SpeedFusion and other VPNs, how you can integrate those technologies to make your out-of-band management much more secure and much more resilient. Okay, so the last item I'm going to show you is we're going to talk about private networks and SpeedFusion. Like I said, historically, out-of-band management networks were built around either dial-up technology, ISDN, private circuits, right? Old, expensive, kind of cumbersome technologies. A lot of those technologies evolved over the years, and they really migrated to some sort of public IP type system, right? Somebody would deploy a cellular router, put a public IP on it, and then that's how they would manage their out-of-band management access. And I think a lot of us know that's probably not the best idea anymore. There's been many examples of public IPs on cellular networks just causing cost overruns or all kinds of problems, right? So we've seen people really migrate away from that public IP type of out-of-band management system and really start to embrace VPN technologies and private networking to manage these out-of-band management networks, or to access these out-of-band management networks. And so that's just yet another great application for SpeedFusion. So you can build a SpeedFusion network so that you've got access to all the different devices on your out-of-band management network segments. So here I've built a SpeedFusion VPN between a couple different routers and a Fusion hub. So I've got a router connected to my computer here. This Max HD2 is connected to my PC, and then I've got that BR1 Mini that we were logging into the Cisco switch on, and then I've got that UBR that we've got the GPIO functionality on. So building a SpeedFusion network is just as simple as click, click, click. I've done it before here so that it's all up and ready. But it literally took me 3 minutes to build this network, and it probably took another minute for the connections to come up. So, you know, less than 5 minutes, you've got a global VPN built up so that you can securely manage your devices remotely. I won't click finish because I've already got this built, like I said. But again, when I was logging into these devices, I'm using this 192.168.150.1 address because I'm on this private out-of-band management network. The other cool thing is I can access other devices, right? I don't have to just access my Peplink BR1 Mini. If I've got an HP server that has an ILO interface on it, I can reach that directly now from this network. So I can log right into that web lights out management port interface, and I can reboot that server. I can do a screen view of that server. I can do all of that remotely through this SpeedFusion private network. But it doesn't have to be SpeedFusion, right? Oftentimes you're coming into networks that are already existing, right? You're trying to integrate into something else that's there already. And so we support all kinds of industry standard VPNs as well. So you can just use IPsec. So if you've got some sort of larger out-of-band management network, you can connect the BR1 to that IPsec network. You could use GRE. We've also just launched the new Openvpn Wan Client. So if your out-of-band management network is already built around OpenVPN, you now have a license that you can purchase to drop a Peplink right into that OpenVPN network as well. So you've got several different ways that you could build this nice private secure network for your out-of-band management. Again, you can use SpeedFusion. That's obviously a great choice, but you don't have to. You can integrate with any industry standard VPNs as well. The other topic that I'll mention here is just, you know, the relevance of SpeedFusion is really important here, in my opinion, because you can build these out-of-band management networks in even more resilient and more cost-effective ways when you start to leverage our capabilities. So for example, you might plug this BR1 Mini into the primary network on your remote site, right? You might use that as the primary WAN for this out-of-band management. But then you've got things like drop-in mode, and you've got things like hot failover, so that you can fail over to cellular. So you can save yourself data on those cellular connections if you need to, right? You can just drop that cellular connection down to priority 2. If that's how you want to configure it. So you can work with the existing infrastructure and leverage that as much as possible without having to spend a bunch of extra money to bring all these extra interfaces in. The other cool thing, Wi-Fi is when, if you're in data centers, oftentimes there's public Wi-Fi there, or there's just public Wi-Fi nearby where your location may be. So you can use a Wi-Fi network to build this secure SpeedFusion tunnel over. Again, get all those private network management benefits, but again, doing it securely over SpeedFusion instead of directly over these interfaces.